Hi, everyone. I hope that you're doing great and you're doing fine. All of you are doing absolutely okay during this pandemic time. Well, we have been going through a very difficult time for last 2.5 years, and it's not at all happening that things are becoming normal. So, during this tough time, during this challenging time, I have been doing a lot of learning method from various aspect of my life, and that aspect is not very common aspect. Those aspects are coming from startups. Those aspects are coming from different business people, investors do have their own agony that the kind of money that they have pumped in, nobody had a clue that this pandemic will come, so they are anxious about the kind of situation that they are going to face, even though business can be evolved and updated. While at the same time, lot many startups are really curious to understand if they can leverage the situation of pandemic and probably grow. And at the same time, people are uh, more conscious about their health condition. People are more conscious about their physical and mental, both different kind of health. And if I'm not wrong, these are all interconnected. When you are working from home as an employee or maybe a C-level employee of a company, you are probably a CEO of an organization. Probably you are running your own venture. Maybe it's a small business. Maybe it's a business which is stable. Nobody had a clue that these things will happen. So of course, your shop is probably not open. And at the same time, you need to keep your calm, keep your peace so that you can continue your normal life. And while continuing your normal life, it is really important to understand the mental health condition of your own self. Now, when we talk about own self and talking about mental health, these are all interconnected with something cool, something beautiful, something peaceful, which is we call as spirituality as a whole structure. And today, I have an amazing lady from South Korea. Kate, welcome to my Instagram live. And she's a specialist mainly in mental health and spirituality. Have been doing it for so many years, have been helping people. And she generously said that, okay, let's go live and probably I can share a couple of my experience to help people out to becoming more healthy mentally, physically, and work-wise. So over to you, Kate. Could you please introduce yourself and maybe talk a little bit about what do we understand about mental health and how you can help, please.
Sure, Aditi, thank you for inviting me to your community. Hello, everyone. I am Kate, the founder of Life of Emerald and Sacred Healing Institute. I advocate for mental health, and as Arijit shared, mental health is inherently connected to the spiritual realm. So I have been in the healing journey for the past 12 years, since 2009. And for 12 years, I have been inquiring about healing my mental health challenges, including 5 years of meditation practices. Now, to your question, Arijit, I believe in conventionally, mental health is viewed as something to be shamed about, something to feel, something to feel guilty about. But this is my perspective. Imagine we are living in a society where it is systematically unfair for people who are sensitive, gentle, loving, and caring. So think about it like a fish. We're fish swimming in a polluted water. And so if the fish gets sick, then it's not fish's fault, it is the polluted water's fault. So I look at the corporate world, and the way the system is set up right now is not sustainable for us to speak our truth, be ourselves, let go of persona, all of this. So in a way, it puts us in a catch-22 situation. So what I'm advocating for is, right, let's get to the bottom of it. First of all, let's go back to ancient wisdom. What is, our emotions are normal. Let's embrace that. And And the spiritual practices come in when we embrace love and connectivity at the heart of all humanity. Like Dalai Lama said, one thing that connects us all is emotions and empathy. And I believe that many people have the capacity to get centered in our humanness and connect from the heart and feel empathy for each other's suffering. And then we're approaching an era of building a community like Buddha. There's a concept called Sangha. The community is the next Buddha. So that's what I advocate for.
Super, super. And when we talk about mental health, when we talk about spirituality, Bharatvarsh as a country, I will not call it at India. India is a given name and we adopted that. So our country's name is actually Bharat or Bharatvarsh. And it used to be so large before Christ. If you look at Chola Rajvansh as a structure, the entire Sindhu plateau used to have a lot of spiritual inputs. And this land is rich with spirituality, yoga, nutrition, and health. And I firmly believe when we talk to each other, our neurons are connected with each other. And as a human, you and me probably are coming from completely different to diversified background, from completely different, thousands of miles of gap between both the countries, but somehow we are connected. And the way we are connected is not through internet. I know you because I spoke to you earlier, and we are connected through our probably the spiritual connections that we have. Now, when we talk about that, could you please explain how anybody who is working, I'll put this question in two different fronts. Number one is as an employee, how one can have a good mental health when they are working from home. Lot many companies who are mainly digital oriented, technology oriented, ask their employees to work from home, which enables them sometimes to spend more time with family, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's opposite. If you look at the BPO industry or probably the KPO industry, employees who are sitting at home, they're supposed to work for maybe 8 hours to 9 hours, but due to pandemic, because they are working from home, that 8 hours became sometimes 12 hours. Without even noticing, they are spending a lot more time in front of the screen, and sometimes they can't spend quality time with their family members. Maybe it's a challenge, but in this situation, there is no other option. How exactly you feel that one can have a situation wherein they can optimize their mental health, be healthy, at the same time continue their job? The second part of the question is for the C-level people like CEOs and CTOs. They have huge pressure running a company. They need to manage 100 people team. They need to manage 1,000 people team. So for them, the pressure is in a complete different level and layer on together. So if you compare both these kind of category of people, what do you suggest? How one can be optimized and at peace and have quality time for themselves and their family? Over to you.
That is a brilliant question. You nail things in the head as I'm building two separate companies for your first question, people in your first question category, and people in the second question category. So let me address the first question pertaining to how do we help mitigate the mental health of corporate workers, especially during COVID-19, where things have shifted, where they're in home, overworking from 9 hours to 12 hours because there's lack of boundary these days. And now what I will say is, first, put your health first. And then secondly, question yourself, am I obligated to do this? You're already working 9 to 12 hours on behalf of your company. That is a lot, and give yourself credit for it. Also be thankful for whatever you have. At the same time, the boundary comes in when you put yourself first when, especially when you feel tired, lethargic, your eyes are getting watery, or looking at the screen. So there comes a time where you need to recognize you've done so much for the company, and now it's okay to take care of yourself. And it's okay to say no. No is actually really healthy for you and people around you, because when you say no to things that you feel overwhelmed, then you can take care of yourself and your mental health and body health. Taking a deep breath in and out, and taking that 5-minute break when you can sustain you longer. And so I suggest saying no to even your bosses, and say, here, no thank you, no thank you. Here is a reason why I've done this much today. I know this project is a long, 1 month long. I can prioritize tomorrow so I can spend my time more effectively. I mean, if you can tell yourself that. So I advocate for working smarter, not harder. So that could help. So your second question pertaining to the CEO C-suite level startup founders, this is the second company project for Sacred Healing Institute. And I understand the pressure. Oh, good news, Arijit. I'll be coaching a vice president of Samsung starting Saturday for 1 year. Now, the pressure is at a different level. I understand that. Now, the dilemma when people are at the top is they don't know where to sort of vent. Yeah. So here I say, find a therapist, find a coach who will keep your information private by contract and let it work through you. And also know that as a leader, you don't have to be lonely. There are visionaries and CEOs surrounding you if you were to look for them. And if you can find a network of community who can sort of bounce off ideas, and you don't have to do this alone, and find a coach and get your pressure off. And at the same time, so for two questions, these two demographics that you asked me, fundamentally, we are living at a capitalistic society where it's a go, 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 go. Please remember, we're not a machine. We're a human being. Sometimes don't need to do anything to be loved and survive.
Super. So in your opinion, if I'm not wrong, when you are pressurized by your superiors, you are saying that to go for a soft no if you're not feeling that well and comfortable. And if I may summarize things from the perspective of the C-level employees like CTOs or probably CEOs or sometimes maybe the CFOs, you are suggesting to get a life coach into their for their own, so that they can share all those anxiety and all those probably elements of anxiety, shouldn't say only anxiety, elements of anxiety with them, so that they can guide them better. And I have seen that. I'll give you a live example. It's funny, but I was actually coaching one life coach in Dubai, a Russian, someone from Russia, and she said that she's a life coach. So we started talking near a sea beach. We started sharing a lot many factors, and I felt that she needs a little bit of uplifting. She needs a little bit of upgradation, and something is holding her. So I actually wanted to give her comfort, and I forgot how long we spoke to each other. Probably it was more than 2 hours or 3 hours. I can't share all those things in front of people because that's completely secret between both of us. But yes, I completely understand the kind of mental pressure even they have gone through. See, if we look at a life coach, it's not an easy job to become a life coach. It's not easy job to become even a proper business coach. In my opinion, you are right. Every entrepreneur, every intrapreneur, and every white collar job oriented person who are in the top level, mainly in the C level, are alone. As an entrepreneur, I can tell you this, or rather, I would say, as a serial entrepreneur, as an angel investor, as a advisor to much more accelerators and business chambers, where I try to help people scaling their businesses. Even when I sleep, it's not easy for me to understand how to relax. When anybody goes to bed, if they can sleep within maybe 3 minutes, I can't count that number of minutes, honestly speaking. But if that's a sound sleep that you have, and when you sleep like a baby, that's the best thing that you can have in your life. But I know there are people who can't sleep properly because there are so many reasons, so many things that they can't share with others. So I learned it in my own way, how to relax myself, how to share things not with others, probably within myself, because I can differentiate my brain into two different personality. One person is me as a corporate me. Another one is me who is myself. Okay. So if somebody can do that, that's one of the best things that can happen into someone's life. But to get there, probably 90% of us need help, need support, need guidance, need hand holding. So when we talk about that, Kate, you help people like anything. And I can vouch for her in front of everyone because I have been talking to her. She's a kind of personality who will say, okay, fine, if I have 5, please have 4.5, and let's make it 9. Okay, that's her approach to the world. And she's coming from very rich culture and background of families, which enables her to give a lot more flexibility to do something cool for the world. And trust me on this, it's not easy to take, you know. I'm not sure how many of you will understand this word, not easy to take. It is easy to give. You may say, okay, I have $10 in my wallet. If I'm giving my $10 to some poor people, that means I'm giving, this is really, really, easy to give. Or some people say, okay, I have only $10 in my pocket, and that's what I have all for today. But I'm giving this to someone who is more needy. So there is a difference. But the person who is taking it, sometimes, even though if Kate is opening her own bunch of plethora of knowledge, it may happen a lot of us may not be able to take it. And that's a fact of life. If you are giving, your giving mentality actually gives you back 10 times what you give to the nature. So on the same line, Kate, could you please tell us, when you give to the nature, how do you see it? Do you see it that you have an expectation of having the return back, or you give without any strings attached?
Oops. I caught my camera. Okay. Arijit, that's a brilliant point. I have explored this as I'm building business 2 years, and in one foot in the capitalistic world where money exchange is normal, and one foot on the spiritual realm where giving is actually really a blessing. And also in the corporate world, giving is a blessing. My heart feels joy when I'm creating Anchor podcast, insightful things, interviews, and giving to the public for free. And I have been doing that for 2 years, and it's been fun. At the same time, now I've approached this 2-year mark. I was exploring, okay, let me give you, would you pay for it? So that concept, I play with that. Now, as I'm getting used to this model, I'm sort of evolving as a businesswoman. At the same time, at the core, I don't think about money. So it's a good thing because I just feel free, meditation, prayers, and dance, and creating, the valuable content. At the same time, sometimes I run into problems, or I need to pay rent. And so I'm finding the balance. So to answer your question, I still give my astrology consultation for free on Clubhouse with the intention of giving it for free and with an idea that spiritual realm is watching me and blessing me as I'm helping people from a pure heart. And at the end of the session, the free session, I ask them for a favor. Could you please pray for my financial abundance? That's all I ask. And so I've been, exploring this and that, and I don't know what my future holds, but I just know I feel really joyful building this company to give what I have been what I had gathered in terms of mental health healing tools. And yeah, I also welcome wealth. So cool.
Super. But at the same time, I think people need money as an exchange, as a tool, so that they can sustain and they can grow. And no knowledge is a knowledge until unless you actually respect it. It can be money, it can be some gift, it can be a respect, it can be probably sharing your name with others, right? And when we talk about respect, when we talk about life, when we talk about becoming empty from inside and alone from inside, many entrepreneurs, they find a different way of traveling. So there are solo travelers. I know a lot of startups who usually go for solo travel, but due to pandemic, a lot of them couldn't actually um, travel so much. Okay, they are stuck, and many of them found a way of communicating with each other, connecting with each other, talking with each other, and at the same time, after probably 5 or 6 sessions of connecting with each other, they are clueless. And there, I guess, Kate can play a very vital role, guiding their energy into the right kind of direction. Now, I can see a lot of people who actually joined our live session, and they are waving. So I just put in something in our chat box. If you have any question, feel free to ask the question in the chat box. We'll be more than happy to take that, and Kate will be more than happy to answer. But I have one question for you, Kate. When you said that you do a Clubhouse live session, feel free to add me over there. We'll be more than happy to be there. That's of course without any question. Now, coming back to the question part. When you feel we are anxious from inside, when we feel that probably I can't make it, maybe this is too tough for me. When some people feel that, I'm a woman and probably I have started my journey, no one is actually helping me, where can I get help? What they should do, what is your 3 mantra for these people who feel that they are alone, who feel that they can't take the next step, who feel that they can't grow more? What do you suggest to them?
Yeah, wow. 3 things I did. They're so deep. Question is deep. Let me go deep with your audience. Yeah. First of all, let go of all narrative of what society told you, that is to look for power outside. So come back to your inner self and draw the power and insight and wisdom from within. So give yourself permission. So this is part 1. Give yourself permission to say, I have all the answers I need in me. Yeah. Second one, when you feel lonely and so a little bit dim, feeling dim, close your eyes and go look for that bright light. And if it's dim, imagine, Albert Einstein said, imagination is more powerful than knowledge. And so make the light inside bigger and bigger and bigger, like flaming your own fire. That's number 2. And number 3, you are never alone. We're surrounded by invisible forces, angels and guides and things we don't see. They're around us. So in your quiet moment, ask for help. Ask for help. Yeah. And the universe will support you when you do it sincerely.
But Kate, when you say that, imagination is much more stronger than anything, I completely understand this. I know this. But lot many of us lack imagination. Trust me on this. I've found that in life, um, sometimes probably you are imagining something, and maybe I'm imagining the same thing, but our thought processes are different. Till date, there is no technology that I can enter into your brain and understand what you're thinking. But we have something which is in yoga, wherein probably if you continue yogic powers, you would be able to understand and read others' mind. So as a yoga teacher, I shouldn't say a teacher, probably I should say as a yoga uh, evangelist like you, who understand the astronomy part, who understand the spiritual part, who understand the life coaching part. As a student, if somebody is feeling doomed and they feel that our online classes are happening, I can't see my friends, I can't do my study properly, and there is no playground. I can't go out because there is a virus out there who is probably going to kill me. And this is a very small, simple statement which will come from any child's mindset nowadays. They are stuck at their home for the last 2 years, if I'm not wrong, everywhere. So what do you suggest? How someone can guide these kids? Maybe a suggestion to the parents, how they can guide their kids to become more human rather than, follow the rat race.
Another beautiful question here. Okay, so I have taught children for about 7 years in Korea, 1 year in San Francisco. And I know they have rambunctious energy compared to adults. And so what I also know that school system generally teaches kids to ignore intuition, imagination, things that could lead them to mental, prison. So what I would tell the children per your question is to, spend your energy, let's wisely. You can play a, YouTube, a dance move and dance, spend your energy. Also gather, you're a leader. Children, you guys are leading the world next, So you can creatively gather your friends, your classmates, and come on Zoom and lead a dance class or lead a comedy skit. Just have fun with that. So that is part one to expanding your rambunctious energy. And secondly, the children learn yoga. So learn to not listen to sometimes what your parents tell you. One namely, think about what other kids are doing. Think about what other people think of you. Just don't listen to that sometimes. but listen to your own body. Do yoga. You do yoga, sing, dance, and listen to your intuition and say, okay, question everything, right? Question authority, because there is no authority. Everybody, every soul, adult, grandpa, children, we're all equal. So yeah, I would tell the kids that.
Super, super. I'm not going to hold you much more longer time because we are going to do these sessions again and again with Kate. And to be very honest, I'll be encouraging all the people who will be watching this live. I'm going to put this in YouTube as well and in all my social media very soon, who would love to connect with Kate. Kate, could you please tell our audience how they can connect with you? What is your, okay, there is a question actually. There's a question that came in the chat box. How to motivate today's kids to follow or find their passion nowadays?
I mean, kids just follow what they want to do, right? And the only thing adults are really good at guiding them with disciplining their energy. So I would say it's kids to find their passion. As an adult, I can inquire. Let's say I have a kid, I can inquire, hey, what do you like to do? What fuels your heart? What makes you joyful? Oh, you like to draw and dance? Okay, let's see. And provide resources adult can give, let's say mural or online digital tool, or Lego bricks. So as an adult, we're giving them some tools and let them drive their learning. So as an adult, we are playing the inquirer role, and we don't tell them what to do and not to do. Then their passion can flourish like a flower in the nature. Let them just flow. But we are only containing them so that they go in the right direction, where their passion is not all over the place, but you're guiding them gently. So to
Super.
motivate today's kids, I would do that. Let them inquire on their own.
Super. To summarize, Kate is suggesting that we should give our kids an option to ask as much as questions that they want to ask, as much as things that they want to explore. And probably, if I'm not wrong, music plays a very vital role over here. To coming back to your question, like you asked that, Pratim, you asked that how to motivate today's kids. Frankly, you don't need to motivate people. Let them be self-motivated. Give them tools so that they can be motivated by themselves. Maybe you can buy a guitar and gift it to your kids. Okay. Maybe you can give a mouth organ. Maybe you can give chess. Don't give things which is available in the digital media. I'm sorry about this statement. I'm coming from a game development background, which is like for last 23 years, we have been making digital games, PC games, mobile games, VR. But at the same time, I'm asking all of you to give your kids physical games, maybe carom, maybe chess, maybe Chinese checker, maybe something else, Sudoku, it doesn't matter. And try to teach them, which is probably self-defense mechanism, right? It can be martial art. In today's world, there, use the digital medium as a tool to teach your kids. Use those kind of digital videos which can actually give them the strength to uplift themselves in various different skill sets. So COVID gave us an option to spend a lot of time with our kids and give them option to flourish and grow. So instead of giving them a smartphone, try to teach them how to sing, how to play, how to be self-resilient, how to fight, how to cook. Those all small things will actually become a motivating factor, and encourage them to talk to each other, communicate with each other, and learn from those kids. And Kate is right. I mean, learn what is their interest level. In India, there is a difference between our education, difference of, I would say, maybe not in the culture, like this is the process-oriented difference, Kate. In India, I have seen the world, Kate. I have traveled almost around the world, right? 5 continents. I have seen the education system in Europe. I have seen the education system in Asia. Of course, in US is, of course, far more faster than us, and Australia. They are great. But if I compare that with India, in India, we don't encourage our kids to ask so many questions. We just ask them to follow. But if I look at your education system, the Korean education system allows any kid to ask more questions and understand things from their own mindset. And they give option to kids to learn from their own experiences. That's important and that's needed. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kit. Am I telling the right thing, or?
you're very close, Arjun, about Korean education system. The model that I shared is from a progressive international school. I worked there for 3 years. It's an American sister school, and generally Korean education also encourages memorization, you know, formula, things like that. So I think that India, Korea, America, you know, the education system are different, like you said, and also at the same time there's similarity. So yeah, that's why I would add a little bit.
Brilliant. So for the audience, how they can connect with you, how they can communicate. Just before you tell us that, I can see that Orpon already actually sent us one small line of statement. Thank you, Orpon, for the beautiful line of statement. He said that the most educational live I have ever seen in found on this profile. Thank you so much, Orpon, for the same. He's a CS student from India and a very, very modest guy. He does his own workout, he does his own studies, willing to grow things and trying to understand the corporate world, which is basically a corporate jungle you're going to enter very soon. Don't worry, we're all there. We'll see you there, Arpon. So coming back to Kate, when we talk about basically connecting with Kate, how people can connect you? Is there a social media account where they can connect you directly? Would you like to give your LinkedIn account or Facebook account or Instagram account? Instagram, of course, I'll be sharing here, but rest of the accounts, or maybe an email address where they can send you a mail. Could you please share that?
Yeah, absolutely. But first of all, Arijit, I must say I really enjoyed our dialogue, and your questions are really insightful and depth that made me, you know, bring out sort of what I've been thinking about. So thank you so much. So audience, you guys can reach out to me on Gmail, lifeofemerald@gmail.com, and I have Instagram account here and LinkedIn. You can find me under Kate Lee, Humanitarian CEO. Yeah, I'm active on LinkedIn and Instagram.
Super. So people who are watching this, and after this I'll be posting in my profile as well, feel free to connect with her. And I'm sure that she can guide you very, very well. I can see my, yes, thank you, Sananda. I can see my past PA. She eventually became my sister. She already joined. She got, shifted from India to US, and then she left our organization. But till date, we are in touch. When I travel to another country, she deliberately made sure that I should travel to her city so that she can meet me. Thank you, Sananda, for joining. Sananda, if you want to say something to Kate, you joined late. You are welcome. Okay, thank you, Pratim. Yes, you can connect to Kate directly. Thank you, all the other people. Thank you, PG, for the comment. Thank you, all others. I'm not gonna hold her a long time because it's actually late night in South Korea. This is like I think it's like approximate 10 at the moment. We have a time difference. So feel free to connect her directly. And I'm, assuring you that she will be coming live again and again, talking to you guys. And feel free to seek for connectivity and help. Regarding Sananda, Kate, she used to work in rehab center once upon a time. She got a diversified background. Thank you, Sananda, for the comment as well. So if you wish to connect with Sananda, feel free to connect with her. She is another great personality. She is another great person whom probably you guys can do some good business with each other. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us. I never ever declare that when I'm gonna be live. I'm not an Instagram person. I'm more of LinkedIn person. So feel free to follow me in LinkedIn. It's Bhattacharya, Bhattacharya. If you need more social media details, just Google me. My full name is Arijit space Bhattacharya. Thank you. Oh my God, Anita, you are there. Anita is from Finland. She's another amazing woman. I mean, I would love to connect all these women together from various different parts of the world. Oh wow, okay.
And
Kelly, you're
Kelly,
there as well. Okay, thank you so much for commenting. That's another great superpower. Okay, superpowers are actually coming late. Somehow, probably we should find a way of time difference and find the right time kind of time so that we can have Europe, we can have Asia, and we can have Africa at the same time in the same live session. Thank you so much, guys, for watching us and being part of the lovely discussion. Thank you, Kate. Thank you for coming and sharing your insightful moments, your inputs, and your great wisdom with us. Thank you.
Welcome. Aditi, thank you too. Bye.